Hi, it's Nick. I am the odd job handyman, so I've got a bit of a job I can do for myself today, and this came with no instructions, so hopefully it'll be helpful to some of you. I'll just spin this round if I can. Can't spin the camera. So we're building a sort of a, I'm going to call it like a, I'm going to put a picture at the front when I've uploaded the video, but it's basically almost like a bird cage style gazebo for the garden. So what you get the four parts of the top, you get the four arches, and the four arches go between the legs. Looks like these are part of the bottom that complete the bottom of the legs. Then on the top you get the dome, and on top of the dome you get the old cockerel and weather vane. Okay, so I'm going to start with this because it's quite straightforward. You can just literally pick up your weather vane, cockerel, pop them in there, tip that backwards, and inside you can see there's a screw thread, and when you pick this up there's a screw thread on the end. Oh, see if I can do it while I'm filming. So that screws into there, as I said. See if I can do it while I'm filming. Looks like I should be trying to hold that one and turn this one, but you get the general idea. Do that up until it stops, like that, and that's your weather vane assembled. So you'll see that if I stand him up, you'll see that that part there obviously just blows in the wind. Don't forget, when you put this up, you're gonna have to go on your iPhone or something and find out where north is, so that when you bolt this on, you've got it facing in the right direction. Okay, so the next bit's going to be is to get this part. This part is the dome on the top. Get this put together so that and then go on the top. So I'll be back with you in a sec. Forgot to mention that it also comes with some pins for pinning it to the ground if you're putting it on soft ground, and a couple of the world's cheapest spanners. I've obviously opted to go in my toolbox and get myself a couple of spanners because I think my life will be made a bit easier. So these top parts, I've got pins here, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be undoing those. They're not too tight, and I think a bit of help would be useful, because basically you've got to bolt that to that, and then when you've got the four of them, it will obviously make your dome. But it may not be, you could do it on your own, but I think you've got a pair of hands that can help you lift up one side, line it up, put your nut back on. Like when I'm assembling everything, to be honest, I never tighten everything up. I tighten them up a few turns, and then when I've got it together, when I mean got it together, I'm actually going to do these loosely, and then I'm going to stand it up, and then I'm going to get that and put it on the top, because it'll help me to line the holes up easier. And then when it's on, I should tighten all the bolts up. In fact, I've had a slight change of mind. What I'm going to do is stand it up like that, because I'm thinking overall it's going to be easier to put it together. Okay, so that was just a couple of minutes to bolt all of that together. As you can see, it's all a bit out of line and everything, but that was the reason I said don't tighten everything up. So now we've got to get this thing on the top, and you can see you've got the bolts, and two per section. Okay, so if we get the top, it's interesting. So it goes like that, look. So nuts are quite close together, so one goes in there and one goes in there. So start lining those up, work your way around, and once you've got them all poked through the holes, again put your nuts on loosely, and I would suggest that that's then a good time, that once that's on and you've got all these through, that's a good time to get the whole of that tightened up. Okay, so there we go. So that's that together. I have to say that getting these through, if any of these are leaning forward as you go round, it gets in the way and stops you lining your bolts up. So you have to make sure that these are out of the way. Again, it's where another pair of hands comes in useful, and I just literally worked my way round. Now these are still all loose, so I'm going to nip round and tighten all of the top ring up. Then I'm going to tighten up the bottom, and then I've just taken the nuts off the top, because once I've tightened this all up, we are then going to be able to get the weather vane. Hey, and as you can see, oh, somebody's bent that one a bit. I'll have to bend that back down with some pliers. So there we go, you've got 4 pins for 4 holes, and that's where your weather vane is going to go on the top, and then that's the actual top bit finished. Hurrah! These bigger nuts are 14mm, so if you wanted to use a socket set, or I've actually just put my 14mm into my drill just to make it a bit easier. Be really careful if you want to use this, putting these on, because you don't want to cross thread it. I'd start them by hand and then maybe tighten them up with this. There we are with that rolled like that. I'm not putting the weathercock on top first, because you can see this is tilting backwards, and then you've got your leg. Now looking at this, you've got 2 tangs here, and you've got your bolts there, and those bolts line up with that. Okay, and this I think will line up with the arched bits in between each leg, and then those will go round in between each leg at the bottom. Okay, so again, I think it'd be another pair of hands to help me here, and roll that over, get a couple of bolts on, and work my way around. So I've picked the windiest day of the year, which is not clever. You can see I've put these on, and to be honest, I'm not going to tighten the tops because I want to make sure I've got flexibility here. I should have really just took these off first, but now you've got these curved pieces at the bottom. What I'm going to do is take those nuts off there, and I'm going to fit my circle on my base to give it a bit of rigidity. Then I'm going to go up to the tops to put the arches in. Okay, so there is the base on. If you haven't guessed it yet, I'm going to try and stand it on my circle, my slab circle. So those are, again, I've only put these nuts in loosely. However, I have, so now we've got the arches to go in between each one. So we've got 1, 2, 3 lugs facing inwards, and to be honest, I'm quite surprised, but they do fit straight in quite nicely. But what I'm going to do again is I'm going to pop that on. Oh, drop me nut, if you excuse the expression. I'm just going to pop them in nice and loosely. Okay, I'm going to fit my 4 arches on. Then I think the trick then is going to be to put the weather vane on the top, because it's quite tall, and then the entertainment starts of standing it up. Okay, so get those arches on. Okay, so with the exception of putting the weather vane on the top, it's all together still lying down. Now I'm just going to go round. Now I've got all my arches and my base on, I'm going to go round and tighten that all up. Now I was told to put the weather vane on the top before you stand it up, so I'm going to try and do that. Could be interesting, I think. So yeah, tighten all the nuts up, fix the cockle on the top, and then have a go at standing it up. So how did I get it up there, you might ask? Excuse the pun. Basically got it near where we wanted it, 2 people at the top, and then just start pushing and walk your way up it till it's upright. Now by some miracle I've put the pins in and they actually fit exactly inside that circle in between the gaps in the stones, which is amazing really. So they're down. A couple of these are bent up a little bit, might just need to settle. But I think overall I think that's quite impressive. There we go. Hope that helps. Please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you again soon.